All right, now we're gonna cook up something perfect for the holidays. We're gonna help you make the bread and break the bread with our bread maker. This is brand new. In fact, this is the very first time that you are seeing it. And what you're seeing is truly one of the most affordable bread makers I've ever seen. If you've ever wanted to make your own bread, ever really wanted control over the food that you're making, this is the way you do it, but at a price, sale price, $81.07, 5 flex payments available, and it couldn't be easier. This basically does everything but slice it and put the butter on it. Kelly Diedring is joining us. We do have 2 color choices on this as well. You can either choose it in the, this is the black, and then we also have it in the silver, and it's a very, very light silver, almost like a light gray color. Hi, Miss Kelly. You know what, when it comes to baking bread, I think it's something a lot of us would wanna do, but you know, we don't wanna spend, you know, $200 on a bread maker. When you have from Kitchen HQ the ability to do it, and basically, like I said, it does everything except slice it and butter the bread.
And I'm gonna do that, Alice. I promise you, I cannot even explain to you how much fresh bread I'm going to be eating this afternoon. I have to say, you know, one of the good things that's come out of the whole 2020 situation is that we're baking at home more, whether it's cakes or cookies or fresh sourdough bread. Now you can do it just using this machine. So lots of folks get intimidated by baking bread. This is by Kitchen HQ, and I just baked this white bread, okay? But what's so beautiful about fresh homemade bread is you can put anything in it. You could just add some rosemary. Alice, whatever your favorite herb is, you could add it in, whether it's chives, you know, whether it's cilantro, cheesy garlic bread. You control the ingredients, and I think all of us love going to the bakery at the grocery store and just smelling the air, right? It is so decadent. It is so delicious. And so many of us thought, well, I just don't have the time. It's cumbersome. I don't know how to do it. Okay, Kitchen HQ has literally made it simple for you. First of all, I looked online. Most bread makers, they're about $130 to $150. And that's just for about 10 to 12 presets. The Kitchen HQ bread maker, look at that white bread first of all, comes with 19 presets, okay? And we'll talk about each and every one of those. I've got my little buttery butter dish, and I am gonna slather some fresh butter, and it is gonna be the best bread I've tasted all year. There is something so homemade, so nostalgic, right, about eating fresh baked bread. And I heard you and Tracy talking about gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free. So many folks have allergies. And I'll tell you, the bread aisle with the allergy type of breads are crazy expensive, right? So now you can bake it for pennies on the dollar. You're getting the loaf pan, and it'll do 1.5, or 2 pounds. That's great. You get to choose. It'll also do 19 presets. We'll talk about those. But you can choose light, medium, or dark crust. I mean, this is completely customizable. So if you like a lighter crust or somebody in your family likes a darker crust, you can choose between light, medium, or darker crust. And this is a 1.5 pound loaf. This is just plain white bread. And we chose the lighter crust on this one, but maybe you like a darker crust. It really is going to be, it's just going to liven up not your holiday, your year. You know, we've been through a lot this year. Having that scent of fresh made bread in your home, it just changes things. People walk in, they go, what are you baking? Oh, just some fresh rosemary, you know, Asiago cheese bread. Oh, and you've done it all in your Kitchen HQ bread maker.
That's right, because for those of us who have had the bread sit out on the counter for like a couple of weeks,
yes,
and it still looks fine, then you have to stop and think about what are they putting in that bread? What preservatives are they putting in that bread? Because bread should not normally last that long. Take control over what you're putting in your bodies and elevate the taste experience. But look how simple this is. This is what's changed about bread makers. It used to be you had to add the ingredients, then you had to roll it out, and then you had to knead it, then you had to let it rise. This does everything.
It does it all.
Just add ingredients and push a button, and you will have the most amazing, incredible bread. And not just bread, anything you want to make in here.
Yeah, it's true. It does cakes, it does yogurt, it does jams. Okay, you can see what I've done here. And this is like just a little tip from my kitchen to yours. You wanna do your wet ingredients in the bottom, and then I add my salt, and then I do my flour. You don't wanna put the salt right next to the yeast, okay? That will kill it. That's the only tip. I've added my sugar next to my yeast, because that's what makes the bread rise, right? The yeast is alive, it's active, so it eats the sugar. And all I have to do is pour my ingredients. So most of us have, Alice, these ingredients. So what I used was oil, vegetable oil. I used flour. You could use gluten-free flour. I used sugar, salt, and yeast. And yeast just comes in those little packets in the grocery store. That's it. Most of us have those ingredients already. You may need to go grab the yeast. That's about it. I close the lid. Then I choose from, one of my 19 presets. And we'll look at those. Basic bread, like a white bread. Sweet bread. Sourdough, that takes a little bit longer, but oh my gosh, Alice, it is the best sourdough you'll ever eat. I'm about to choose French bread. You just choose from your menu. So French bread is number 4, but maybe I want to do whole wheat bread, a quick bread, if you just don't want to use yeast and you want to use a quick bread mix, sugar-free bread, multi-grain, buttermilk, number 10, cake. Now we go over here and it will just knead the dough for you. It will make pizza dough. It will make your jam. This is a game changer. It will just do baking. It will make your yogurt. It will do gluten-free, which is one I've done. It will make actual rice. It will stir and bake, or it will just proof. And that's for people that just want to be able to use this as a warmer for proofing. Okay, I'm gonna choose, let's see. I'm gonna choose my loaf. Okay, and then I'd like to do, let's see, light, medium, or dark. I think we'll do dark, and then you just hit start. You can actually hear it starting up. There's a little clear view window. Once you take a peek into that window, you can watch the bread start to knead. And look what's happening. It has that little paddle on the inside. Guess what my hands are doing? They're not kneading. They're not baking. I could be drinking a glass of wine, Alice, you and me both, right? We do not have to do the work. This machine does the work for us.
It does the work, and it makes the most amazing bread. 19 presets, but it also makes yogurt, it makes jams, it bakes cakes. I mean, calling it a bread maker is such an understatement. It's small, it's compact. You can leave it on your counter. You can have fresh bread every single week. And most importantly, what they're doing now with breads, like you said, Kelly, they're putting prosciutto and olives and this and that, and some of the cheeses, the Asiago bread. Oh my gosh. When when that is baking, you will be right here just waiting for it to come out. And it's gonna come out. It's gonna be piping hot, fresh bread that you know exactly what's in it. And that's the important thing nowadays is we don't know what's in our food. Control it. And it's not easy to control everything, obviously, but it is easy to control when this does everything. You just add the ingredients in and let it do the rest. You push a button, you are good to go. It does everything from kneading it to letting it rise to baking it to keeping it warm. At the end of the day.
It'll keep it warm.
It'll keep it warm so that when you pull this out, you are good to go. And this is all you do. Just lift this right out. I gotta tell you, if you've never, ever considered baking your own bread, I think most of us haven't. Most of us, I watched my mom when I was growing up making the bread. It was an all-day process, okay?
It is.
It was, and you know what? A lot of times it didn't turn out perfectly because it was either overcooked or a little too light.
She didn't have the temperature quite right.
Exactly. This is going to cook it perfectly, and you decide if you want it a little darker, if you want it a little lighter, you decide everything. But at this price point, I don't think we've ever done a bread maker at this kind of a sale price at $81 and some change. And with the 5 flex payments, $16. $16.21. You get this home and you try it. You crack open that box with your today's special little box cutter that I have coming up next. You open that box with the box cutter, you take it out, and let me tell you, you're gonna start baking, and you are never gonna stop. You have until the end of January to bake as much as you want. If you find that it just doesn't work for you, you have until the end of January to return it. But
look what it's doing.
And imagine all the holiday breads, the gifts even that you could be baking.
Yeah, it's so true, Alice. Holiday breads, but then as we get into, okay, think about January. You're trying to lose calories. You're trying to lose weight, right? You can do certain things like not use sugar. You can use honey or agave in your bread. You saw it's kneading my dough. I am not standing here doing this. This does it for you. We did this pull-apart bread. Now, this is the herb and garlic pull-apart bread. So we used the machine and we hit the dough function. We made our own dough, put it in the little balls. We stuck it back in the machine, and then we cooked bake. So you can use this for multifunction. You don't always have to select the bread setting. This one here, okay, this is what I love about being able to choose your own ingredients, Alice. Instead of sugar, use honey. Instead of regular flour, use almond flour. Our gluten-free flours, our rice flours, oat flours, anything like that. We just came up with this one on the fly. We had an extra machine. We said, what do we got? We had rosemary and we had everything bagel seasoning. We made a rosemary everything bagel bread. Literally it's been 90 minutes. Okay, so from start to finish, we had the flour, we had the sugar, and we said, okay, let's make rosemary everything bagel seasoning. Anything in your home that you love, whether it's a spice, whether it's, you know, something new that you've tried from the farmer's market. Look what we did. Okay, and this is that 2-pound loaf. And then let me just cut into this because this is fresh baked. Rosemary everything bagel bread. Oh wow. My goodness. This is beautiful. Not, you can't, I mean, you can completely customize these. This is piping hot. It is going to be probably the best bread of the day. I think this is the winner. But look at how fluffy that is. You can see it aerated it. And then right next door, my brother's gluten-free for allergy reasons. I mean, he has a very strong allergy to gluten. It makes him sick. So he cannot have gluten. I bought the gluten-free flour. And then I know he loves cheddar and dill. I did cheddar cheese, dill, and poppy seeds. He will never in his life be able to find a loaf of gluten-free bread that has cheddar, dill, and poppy seeds because, of course, they haven't made it. And if he did find it, it would be very expensive. We use the dark crust. You can see my crust on this one is a little bit darker because you can choose light, medium, or dark. You can choose if you want 1 pound, 1.5 pound, 2-pound loaf. You can make yogurt in this machine. Now, lots of folks are getting this machine for bread. You can make yogurt. It's also doubles as your rice maker. And the reason for all these extras, the jams and the jellies, is because this machine keeps it at the perfect temperature. Something like yogurt, Alice, if you've ever tried to make it on the stovetop, you probably threw your hands up and gave up. It is so difficult to keep it at the precise temperature. This keeps it at the precise temperature, and it makes beautiful yogurt. Same with the jellies. You have to stir, 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 right? So that the sugars don't stick to the bottom. This machine comes with the stirring paddle, which will stir for you. Come back here. I want to show you our progress. It actually tells you, okay, I'm done kneading and now I'm resting. And then I'm going to go to another knead cycle. It tells you where you are in the process. It finished my first kneading cycle. It's now resting. It'll go kneading again, rest again, and then it will start to rise, which means I don't even have to proof it. It's going to proof for me. This machine literally takes care of everything.
It takes care of everything. We've taken care of taking this down to the best value I think we've ever done on any kind of bread maker. And you're getting incredible quality in terms of 19 presets on this. It'll make yogurt. I mean, if you had to go out and buy just a yogurt maker or a bread maker or something a pressure cooker that makes your jams and your jellies and everything, it's all right here, right here. So simple, so easy. Kelly, love it. I wish I could smell your kitchen right now.
I know, I wish you
so
could too,
incredible.
Alice. I'll save you some.
Okay, sounds great. Listen, thank you so much. Brand new today, sale priced $81 and some change to get that home. And we want to tell you about something else that's very special. HSN Cares is dedicated to empowering women and truly helping families in times of need. Join HSN Cares in